So, like I said, I was going to talk about this. I was in there, I was just talking to her about how I had made so much money and lost it almost as quick as I made it. And I had talked to two different hosts about it. And I guess what I would say is, you gotta be very matter of fact in the way you say things, because if you say things in a way that are gonna get misconstrued, they're going to use that against you as a way to push you off, I guess I'd say. So here's the thing. As it says here, I was excluded for a year after a negative experience with the host. I thought we were just having a human conversation. I was being very vulnerable and honest, talking about myself. I had won over 100 grand in 40 days, and then my mom died a little sooner than I expected her to. Much sooner, actually, at the end of 2023, July 2023. And I proceeded to lose. I lost my mind, man. You know, that shit'll do stuff to you. I lost all of it over a course of 2 months. I can't explain it. And fast forward to January, I had another conversation with somebody a few months later. I think the first conversation was probably around the time that I had actually lost everything, probably October-ish. And then I had the same conversation again a year later, actually, at the end of January of this year. So, they excluded me for having a conversation about myself coming up twice with two different people that apparently these people who act like they're your friend and talk to you just don't care. And they just hit a button and all of a sudden security comes down and then you're removed. So just don't talk to them. They ain't your friends. None of them are. But anyway, it'll be easy when I go back and I realize I'm just not going to talk to them. Anybody that can smile at me or ask why I'm not smiling, I'm just going to be dead to them. This last year has been very insightful for me. So as it says, excluded me for having a conversation, scared I might blow it again. That I was scared that I might blow it again. All I did was make $2,500 out of $100 initially. Well, it ended up turning out that I had five digits by the end of that week. So, like people tell you, they want losers, they keep losing, and pay them to stay with the comps. This whole conversation got started because they didn't really give me much of a comp, as you see here. I was winning, so they didn't really give me much because I wasn't losing. The more you win, expect to be rewarded. The less for food comps because they want losers. A general answer to me was that I was doing too well this week to give me more than 125. I was trying to go to the steakhouse. I was going to have my wife come when she got out of work, and we were just going to go together. And she had planned to come. And before that ever even came to fruition, this all started to transpire. So just be careful. Take what they give you, and if they just want to give you less, you don't have to complain that you should be getting more. You want to give them a reason to be bitchy. I wasn't really complaining, as it were. I was just a little taken back. Like I said here, I was taken back at first, but not put off. I then started to have an honest conversation about wanting to do better and not over pursue my past, like a non-degenerate should be. Shortly after pulling her sweater in front of her chest several times, that body language, right? I realized the body language that she was putting off, saying, get the fuck out of there. You know, I should have been like, this girl doesn't care. She probably makes less than the management does. God bless her. They're there to smooch the losers and tell the winners that their hands are tied. So if you're losing, they're like, here, I can do this. You've been spending a lot, blah, blah, blah. And that's basically, there's a word for that. What's it called? Oh, Mickey said it once. Your, God damn it. What is it called? It's very short. But anyway, it's basically, your expectancy of loss. You're able to ask for X amount because of what your average is on a daily basis and what they think you're going to probably go through over that time. And if you're not losing, like she proceeded to tell me up here, I was doing too well this week to give me more than 125. I wasn't asking for $1,000,000. I was asking for like 200. And they're like, no, 125. And I was taken back because I've been able to get more before. But whatever. So I'm not even going to ask for comps anymore because if I'm getting a big enough unit a day, I ain't going to need their fucking comp. And that's the thing too, I won't be there long enough. A lot of it's how much time are you putting in. If I'm hitting and quitting, I'm not there long enough to validate the time being on the table. So fuck their comps, right? I'm over it. But anyway, I think when you're in a place like that, or anywhere in life, be very attentive to body language and understand and be able to gauge the temperature of the room and what's actually happening. And if you're doing well, just take that for what it is. And don't worry about what they're not giving you. Like, you're not entitled to anything. And, that's the funny thing, too, is when I first started going, never even entertained the thought of going to a host and asking for things. And the guys would be like, John, you're crazy, what you've been doing, you've put in your time for sure, and you've definitely spent the money, so you should ask for something back. Well, let me preface this. They always took care of me. I got hotel rooms upon hotel rooms. I got all kinds of stuff. But it just seemed bizarre to me that I can get all that stuff, and then once in a while I would ask for more than 125 to go eat, and they'd be like, you're winning too much, we can't give that to you. Really? They tell me that then. But remember when I said way back here, when I did all that, they didn't care then. They didn't care then to keep feeding me because they knew I took so much from them. And they wanted to keep me there long enough to start giving it back. And lo and behold, when I gave it back, they think, well, fuck this guy. We're not going to enable him. We got back our money. We don't have to fucking play around and kiss his ass anymore. Let him stew on what he's become. So I'm like, okay, no, that's cool. I've been spending the last 9-10 months just thinking about it. It's like a prison sentence, right? Fuck them. I know when I go back, I'm going to be ready. And if I'm able to extract 1 unit a day, like I said on those videos, just to start out even, right? Build up the capital for 3 months and then start doing it correct, they're going to be in trouble then. Because I'm not there to break their balls. I'm not there to ask for comps. I'm not there for shit. I'm there to get it and get out. I'm not there to spend my whole fucking 8-hour day there. I'm there to get it and get out. And we already know from all the videos and examples of videos I've given you in ways that you can play smart. For whatever way you want to play. You don't have to play the way I play. Just play smart enough to get a +1 and go every day, but have it be a meaningful one. But we've talked about all that. The point of this is just to go over this dissertation that I wrote to myself about what they did to me, And, you can pause this and read this, whatever, because I'm kind of just scrolling through it. But it's just funny to me. This paragraph, this first paragraph here is everything. Like the people here and on the internet will tell you is they want losers to keep losing and pay them to stay. And you'd have to guess that 98% of the people that go in there are. So they're already paying all them. They don't want to enable winners to keep coming back. They want you to stay away, right? Why would they beg you? Why would they beg you and give you prizes for beating them? You're the enemy to them. You're the ones that they want to just go away and never come back. Why do you think Mickey's getting banned from everywhere? Because he was winning. So the more you win, expect to be rewarded less, because they want losers. Because they know, yeah, they're going to take it on the chin, giving them free stuff for now, but they're going to come up with 10x that to lose. So they're going to get that back in aces anyway. They don't care. So anyway, I couldn't sleep today, so I thought I would just say this real quick. It's fucking 1:25 in the morning, and I got to work tomorrow, but whatever's the fuck, A general answer to me is that I was doing too well, to give me more than that, blah, blah, blah. And then I started having a conversation. I was talking about, what was going through my life at the time when I lost. I never, like I've told you before, I did all that good stuff, and I never got to tell my mom exactly what I was able to do. It breaks my heart every day that I never told her, because she never gave me the chance to make her proud of me, to show her what I did. But she was in no living condition to tell her any of that. She was going through the worst time of her life. I'm not going to tell her I was God. I wasn't going to tell her I was gambling, right? I wasn't going to tell her any of that kind of shit. She didn't need to hear any of that. So she never got to know. And it doesn't matter now, because I lost it anyway, right? But I did it, and I can do it again. But it has to be done the right way. So, I saved money in 2024, a year after she died. And I came back there, and I was trying to do it again. But I didn't have half of what I had before working. And then all in a sudden, I got to 5 numbers in a week. In a fucking week, out of dust, guys. I don't remember exactly what I started with, but it was more than 165 than it was the first time. Up here, I said, what was it? I made $2,500 out of $100 initially. But then, a week before that, I had made 5 numbers in a week, and I gave it back. And then I started to repeat the process out of nothing. And I got it to 2,500, which was a quarter of what I had the week before. I think the week before I had like 11K, and I fucked it up. And I had to pay bills at the end of the month, so then I'm like, fuck it. I waited with just $100 and some free plays, and I turned it into 2,500. It was disgusting. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. It's just, this doesn't really tell the whole story, but it's just, I was upset at the time when I talked to her, because I was thinking about, I felt like I was going to finally get a swing. Like 10,000 is a lot. I could have done a lot. You know what I do with that on the videos. I know the power of that. The problem was I was trying to do too much. Way more than what I do on the videos. Too soon. Too often, I guess, is a better way to say it. But if I do it like I do on the videos, I can get a +1 a day. I can get a +3 a day. But if I just try to get a +1, it's over for them. So anywho, I thought we were having a humor conversation, blah, blah, blah. All right, where was I down here? A general answer to me was that I was doing too well this week to give me more. Like I said, they just want losers. I realized the body language said, get the fuck out of there. I should have been like, this girl doesn't care. She probably makes less than the management does. They're there to smooch the losers and tell the winners that their hands are tied. The moral of the story, fellow hustlers. And Mickey Mace is right. See, exactly. I haven't even read this. I just only read the beginning. And I told myself, I want to make a video about this. The moral of the story is, the casino and everyone else in it are not on your side. Even if they talk nice to you and they come up, like you have the manager or someone that acts like they're cute and nice to you, they just want to try to figure you out. Do not talk to them, at them, or like they are your friend. Even if they seem to be, which they will, because they want to understand how the hell you're doing it. That's what it is. The casino will weaponize them to be the reason you are gone. And that's what the host did to me. It's the people you don't expect that become their excuse for why you have to leave. They said because the way you made her uncomfortable, we just think you need a break for a year. Are you fucking kidding? Because I had a human conversation about my mom dying? I made her uncomfortable? My mom fucking died. We were having a conversation with each other and I'm talking to her about this. And that's the reason I got banned for a year. But whatever. I can suck a dick. I don't know if I made this message for my wife or what this is. Do not believe me? Well, I am excluded for 1 year because I had the same self-reflection conversation with the host twice. 2 different people. The first host did not ever say anything about it. So then I said, here's what I tell winners. The casino owes us nothing. Stop asking for more. And be careful about how much you ask for and just take what they give you. Can you get a room? Can you get a suite? Yeah, sure. Especially if you're losing. But if you're winning too much, realize the casino owes us nothing. Stop asking for more. Stop assuming your name has 1 million entries in contests and you should just win. It's amazing how that works too, because there would be contests where I'd be the one that was winning the contest for the entire month and people would get pissed off. Well, how many entries do you think someone that made that much money have? I would think I'd have a lot of entries. And so people just got tired of hearing my name come up in the contest. That went away, clearly. But at the time, it shook a lot of people. So I was getting a little more exposure than I wanted. I had people come up to the table when I just step away for a moment, and I'd have my guys at the table, but someone would come and lift purple chips off the table, walk away. Security came down and told me, hey, how much money do you think you had there? And I'd tell them what I thought I had, and they're like, why don't you count it? And I realized I was 1,000 short. They're like, that's exactly what you're short. We saw the guy take it, but he walked out before we could get him. So when he comes back, we're going to corner him. Well, they got that money back for me. It's the long story short. But it took a few weeks. They said if he doesn't give it back, he's not going to be allowed to come in anymore. So good on them. I want to give them their props too. They take care of the good, they take care of the bad. But you know who they take care of? They take care of the whales. They take care of the people that are coming in there and dropping it, So it's good and it's bad. They're cunts. They are. But they still got to do their job. So they let me know. So I give them credit for that. I don't give them credit for being cowards and telling me to go away for a year, but they did me a favor because I had a lot of personal shit that's been going on the past year. I'm doing okay. But I needed to be away for a while. Not have that kind of distraction in my life. Anyway, here's what I'd say to the winners. The casino owes us nothing. Stop asking for more. Stop assuming your name has 1 million entries in contests and should win. I used to get complained. Oh, yeah, here it is. I used to anyway, I used to get complained about. I'd win contests all the time. It suddenly stopped. If you find a way to win, just win, baby. Do not engage in personal conversations with the staff. You want to unload your emotional decisions on people that are objective, right? But your fellow gamblers understand the best. Don't talk to the staff. They don't give a fuck. Don't give them a reason to say, oh, you need a break. Because I gave them a gotcha clause, right? They knew I was fucking beating them. And then I gave them a chance. I gave them a window of an excuse even to say, well, this guy's not cheating, but he's making us uncomfortable. So let's just act like he needs to take a break and just give him the yellow card and say you're excluded. They didn't exclude me for life. They told me to take a year off. And to be fair, they said I could have wrote back within 3 weeks and dispute it. And if they chose to, they could minimize the sentence, as it were. But I never ever wrote them, because fuck them. I don't have to grovel to them at all. If they give me more time, that's just going to allow me more time to build capital. And when I go back, me and the people that matter to me are going to beat their ass. So that's what matters to me. Vindication and retribution. Fuck them. But anyway, we only have each other, right? So be kind to the people wanting to unload their hurt to you if not involved with your own war at the moment, because they might need that second voice. They might need to have you listen to them, because they don't need to be talking to the host or someone else and say the wrong shit and find themselves pushed off. Some people need to take a break. And you know what? Maybe I did too. I mean, for Christ's sake, I lost both of my parents in a span of 3 years. It's fucking crazy. But that's what happened. I hate to say fucking parents. It's just the way I talk. It's what comes out of my mouth. I never saw it coming with my mother. You know, a woman never did anything wrong to her whole life, never drank, never smoked. What did she get? Lung cancer. Fucking lung cancer. And I think she found out before we did in October-ish, and she passed away the following July. So what is that? 10 months? Roundabout? Maybe? And she didn't want any of that chemo because she watched her whole family suffer with it. And I respect that. She just wanted to go out as peacefully as she could on her own terms. She was very, much about the Lord and did not worry about, trying to survive to be around another 5 years and feel like her nerves were on fire, The poor woman had it, had it hard anyway. She had brain tumors that would show up on her brain that we had to do gamma knives on and stuff, and looked like it worked, and we got them to go away, and then they came back in multitudes after that. And it was at that point we realized, especially when she wasn't going through the chemo, that she wasn't going to survive that shit. We knew that. And it's sad, because my mom was like the polarizing force. She was the strongest person in our family. And even when things were at their lowest, she'd be the one to, to level you. You know what I mean? I feel like that's my oldest daughter now. She's kind of got a bleeding heart like my mom. She just wants to help everybody. And even if it's at her own detriment, she'll do it. And that's what my mom was. But anyway, we only have each other, So if there's people there that are having a good moment, tell them to fucking go. What's good enough is good enough. Come back and do it again tomorrow. Because the worst thing is, you're doing well, and you always want to get back to your highest moment, right? Because it never feels like anything you get after that is enough unless you're at your highest. Because now you feel like not only are you coming back down, but now you're into your money. Well, even if you get back to your money and a little above it, that won't be good enough to you anymore, because you were already up. God knows whatever you were up. So I'm trying to make it where We don't have to make it that hard, guys. All you got to do is get 1 to 3 units a day. Pick a number and multiply that over 30 days and then 3 months of that. And exponentially, you'll see your wealth grow over time, and they can suck a dick. And that's all that matters. I firmly believe in my heart that if you have enough capital, nobody has to be poor anymore. You just have to not be a cunt. You have to realize, fuck it. You know, if you're able to get just 300 a day, I've said it in videos countless times, that's $9,000 a month, bro. You do that for 3 months, you have 27 grand. What do you do then? Now I say that. I'm not doing it right now because I'm broke. But if I had the capital to get it started, that's the way I would attack. You know, I got a lot of shit going on right now. Trying to go on a cruise next February. So we're saving for that. There's a lot of shit, though. Everyone's got things going on in their life that you want or need to do. Whatever it is. Everyone's back in school. You know. Maybe your kids are going to college. Maybe you got this or that. I don't know. But you don't have to feel like you're just living paycheck to paycheck. I'm getting sidetracked. I don't even know how long this video is because it's 26 minutes. Okay. Here's what I'd tell the winners. You know, the casino owes us nothing. Stop asking for more. Stop assuming your name is a million entries, blah, blah, blah. I used to get complained about all the time, and it suddenly stopped when I stopped winning. If you find a way to win, just win. Do not engage with the staff. Yeah, talk to your peers. We only have each other. Be kind to the people wanting to unload their heart to you, if not involved with your own war at the moment. Real shit here now. Oh, look, sure enough. See, my everything I was just saying is further down in the notes here now, right? It's like verbatim what I just said, right? Real shit here now. Easy way to have long-standing longevity. I will say this to everyone: winners and losers, learners, not losers. Losers. No. Even winners are students pretending to be teachers. We are all learning. We always are learning. You start with 1 to 3 units a day, like I was just saying. I wasn't even reading ahead. I was just thinking it out loud. For the purpose of a round number, I will say 100. See, 100 black chips. Earn 3 today, 300. And it exactly. Right there. Right there. Right there. Screenshot that part right there. Right? Right there. I don't know, my keyboard came up, but that was actually handy because I didn't need you to see the rest of this yet. Right there is all it is. And you know what that would be? It would be, you would need a bankroll of, 40 units would be 4K. And that would give you enough to just try to extract 3 a day. And you could do that all in one shoe? Maybe. Or, if it's not going well, as soon as you get to a +1 on a shoe, you're done with that shoe. You wait for the next one. There's only 80 hands in a Baccarat shoe. You don't got to sit there for a whole 80 fucking hands and pay their commission and whatever else. You just need to win it. And then go wait for the next shoe or go to another table if you have that ability to do that. And do it again. Fuck them. It's not rocket science. You could do this with any bullshit system. You can't chase your money. That's where you're going to lose, is chasing. If you decide, oh, well, fuck, well, that didn't work. Nothing's fucking working. It's the Twilight Zone. No matter what you choose, you're wrong kind of shit. If you're going to let that shit bother you, then don't even walk in there. Seriously. Because all you're going to do is think, well, now I'm down this. Well, now I got to bet more because I just got to get my money back. The second you let those words come out of your mouth, you're already done. I'll tell you right now, you're going to lose all your money that day because you're limiting your opportunities to rectify the cocksuckery event. If you're going to start using more of your money to try to get your money back, now you're limiting the amount of chances you have to try to rectify that event. So I know it's hard, if you're down 7 bullets and you feel like you got to get them all back. It's like it's the number line, like I said before. You have a 1, 2, 3 negative and a 1, 2, 3 positive and the 0 in the middle, right? You're just trying to get to that 1 and get the fuck off of that situation and then start again. And that's it. Anyway, end of tutorial there. 3 a day is 300 a day. 300 a day is 9,000 a month. And if you got 9,000 a month just getting 3 a day, and you did that every month of your life, you'd have 108,000 over 12 months just getting 3 units a day. But what is it about the casino where you go in there and you're watching people play on any game? I don't care what it is. You're seeing people say, oh yeah, I just won 2,500 or whatever they got off their bullshit game. Good for them. How much did they waste before they did that? And some people will say they do it all the time. I challenge that as fact, but that's not for me to say. I would say a better way is to do it incrementally, one day at a time. You don't have to fucking sit there and try to break the balls every single day. It's not going to work, I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. There's an easier way. I know what I did over 40 days, like I said in my original videos. But you don't have to do it that fast. You know why I did it that fast is because I got lucky early and I was able to help build a larger catalyst than I ever expected very quickly that allowed me to do some very special things at an exponentially increased rate of period of time. But you don't have to do it that way. I got lucky with some parlays early, bro. That's what that was. But I've already proven on all of my fucking 200 videos about ways that we can do this smartly. But you have to also understand when your run is done, it's done. You don't have to try to reinvent the wheel every time or whatever you're playing for that day stops. When that's done, it's just done, man. You don't have to keep fighting that hard. Trust me. A lot of you are way too young to have that much frustration in your life. Just keep building day after day. If you're young and you're in your 20s or 30s or whatever you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, quite frankly. All that matters is day one is today. What are you going to do from this point forward? All you can work with is what's in front of you. But have an objective. Decide what you're going to need to achieve the objective. Collect the capital needed to do it. And then distribute it over 40 units and find a way to get your 1 to 3 a day. Even if it's 1. If it's a meaningful one and you did that for fucking 3 months, you got a lot after 3 months. So 30 days is 9 grand. Oh, look at this. This is exactly what I was just saying. 90 days is 27. If you did it like that, you could stay at that level indefinitely. Or I think what I tried to write there, I have a bunch of typos there. So I wrote this a long time ago. You could stay at the same level indefinitely and even up, or maybe I was trying to say, or you can move up when you feel comfortable. I think that's what I was trying to write. Just be aware, the more you win, the more overconfident you can become. You have to know your humility and the pride balance, right? Confidence, like I've said before, confidence is it's a teetering thing between humility and pride. Too much confidence and your pride takes over and you over pursue and you fuck yourself. If you temper the confidence with a little bit of humility, you have prosperity and you have more to show for it, but you don't have to brag about it because you did it at a very even-keeled pace that no one's really paying attention to. And it doesn't matter if they respect the fact that you're working with the little stuff because you know you're winning over time. But nobody ever fucking thinks like that, I'll tell you right now. Nobody thinks like that. Everybody thinks, oh, I just got to get it. Everyone wants to whip their dick out and show how great they are with how much money they have on the table. And I'll sit there and I'll survive off my red and green chips. And they'll be dead and I'm still there. We're betting the same number of chips. Mine aren't worth as much. But I'll survive and they get fucked. And the dealers will say, yeah, that guy does that every day. Comes in and just blows it and leaves. Well, whatever. To each their own. I'd rather have food on the table, I guess, but whatever. So the more you win, the more overconfident you can become. Know your humility and pride balance. Too little of one and too much of another get you in quicksand of your devising fest. Yes, anyone can do that. Absolutely can. You have to have an exact method for extracting just one unit. Not necessarily an exact method. That's what I wrote at the time. Flat betting is the easiest way. Just get one unit to the good and leave. Now think about what that unit could be. What do you want your base unit to be worth? Go prepared then with 40 units or so, so you never feel like it can't be done, right? There's nothing worse than just breaking it down into, let's say, 10 bullets. You go through 7 of them, you're like, fuck, I'm down to my last 3 bullets. Like, I got a winner. I'm walking out broke dick. You're the guy out in the parking lot asking for change. For real, though. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, you just get the one unit to the good and leave. I think that's, if you're really struggling right now, that's the way I would start, is just prove to yourself for 30 days that you can go in and get just one to the good. I don't care what it is. Prove to yourself that you're able to get one to the good and walk out. And it's not going to feel like a lot at first, but you're going to feel better about it knowing that you did it. Now, at the end of the day, you could say you're just flipping a coin. But if you're going in there and critically thinking about what you're there to do and what you're looking for to try to do, and you're able to qualify it in some way, shape, or form first, and then you're able to apply it, there's more to it than that. But I'm just giving the Cliff's Notes version of it. Obviously, you've seen on my videos how easy we can do it. But we're trying to dumb it down and keep it simple, stupid the best we can, right? Just try to get one a day. Prove you can do that, and you can move up to 2 a day or 3 a day or whatever. But if you get it up to 3 and you decide you're going to be a greedy cunt and you're going to keep playing and you go back to 2 and then you get back to 3, but then you go back down to 1 again and then you get back to 3, you might want to just get the fuck out as soon as you get to 3 again, because you're gonna let it bother you that you keep getting to your highest moment and giving it back, and then eventually you're never going to get back to your highest moment and you're going to lose. That's what happens to people. I see it I used to see it every day. I can't go anymore, so. Anywho, I could help a lot of people, and I'm going to, but I can't do it in person anymore because they're afraid of me, and they don't. I think that's what it is too. They didn't like that I would show people how to do it, how to win. They don't need 6, 7, 8, 10 of me running around showing people how to think more critically, how to do it. I have to pause this a minute. I gotta go potty. All right, my battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna finish this up. But basically, this is all that's left here. I was saying, you could stay at the same level indefinitely and move up when you feel comfortable. Just be aware, the more confident you become, you have to know your humility and pride balance. And yes, anyone can do that, absolutely can. You have to have the exact method of extracting just one unit, flat betting the easiest way. Just get the one unit to the good and leave. And leave in the sense that you're not staying in that same environment, that same table, that same whatever. Go do something else for a while and come back later. If you want to get 2 or 3 units in a day, you don't have to try to do it all at once. Because if it's frustrating and you can't even get it, then you're going to try harder or too hard, and your mental anguish will start to take over. Mental fatigue is a real thing. So, flatbedding's the easiest way. Just get the one or the good and leave. Now think about what that could be. Go prepared, like I said before, with 40 units. So, you never feel like it can't be done. If you can't make one positive unit out of 40, just stop. Our life is not for you, and God bless you. Right? But winners never expect the casino to chase them. Losers should expect free shit, if spending ad nauseum. Going back to the premise of the beginning of the video where they wouldn't give me anything when I was winning. They didn't even want to give me what they would give me when I was winning because I had already taken thousands from them. So they weren't trying to give me the little stuff even, which is baloney, but they would do it begrudgingly. And then when I questioned it, then they started to fight back. They don't like being told that they're Indian givers. They'll give it to you, and then when you're not sucking anymore, they don't even want to give it to you anymore. They only want to give it to you because you were losing. But once you're winning consistently, they don't want to give you shit. I think that's hilarious. But anyway, winners should never expect the casino to chase them and be like, please, please, please come back. Losers should expect them to keep giving them stuff. And the only way the winners are going to be given stuff is if you are a big, big timer, and they feel like you got the better of them, but they can bring you back and get more. And it goes back to what I was saying about 2023, when I did crush them. They had no problem being happy-go-lucky with me then. But when they felt like they got me on my knees and broke them, they waited a whole year and a half to push me off. After I allowed them to fuck me. They didn't think I needed a break right after my mom passed away. After I had the first conversation with somebody, they waited till January of this year to tell me to fuck off. So just be careful who you talk to there, because they're not your goddamn friend. And in the end of the day, everyone should know that the casino can be beaten where it matters. You just do not beat yourselves. There's this running back that was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals this year. And he has this thing on his nose guard, the tape they put over them, the black, whatever, on their eyes, He had it on there. It said, me versus me. I'm like, that is me, bro. That is me. How much have I said that before? I was like, the only person that beats me is me. It's not them, I mean, I guess if they win, it's them to a degree. But what I mean by that is, don't beat yourself, right? Don't over pursue and try to do more. Try to do more than less. Just think about that. Every time I see like a casino webpage and I see them saying or posting things about people, slot machine wins. Well, how much money did they put in there to win that little jackpot that they got? First of all, don't play slots, by the way. If you're one of those people, God bless you, but don't do it. But that's all you need. What is your goal? Do you even know? It's a quote from one of my guy Danny's videos. He would say, what the fuck is your goal? $100? $1,000? $10,000? Do you even know? That just has always resonated with me ever since he said that. Because I'm like, I don't think people do know what their actual goal is, because the more you make, the more you feel like you can take. And that's the danger of it all. Whether you're a winner or a loser, you always feel like you can do more. So, have a good night.